foolish man.
But I told the boy to hang it outside.
And I told him to hang it inside. It's raining again and all the writing will just wash away.
But then how's anyone to know we're open for business?
They'll read it in the newspaper, Seamus. I asked that nice young newspaper man, Clive Giles, to run an advertisement.
And what's that to cost me?
It'll be well worth it if the ad brings in a few boarders, my penny-pinching husband.
And well, it is I am. What with 5 offspring to care for? And none seem to be of a marrying mind.
Many are of marrying mind for your silly traditions, keeping them from it.
Don't scoff at me family traditions, wife. You knew before we were married that the Donovans are a proud and traditional clan.
And half lunatics. Remember your Uncle Timothy?
Lots of folks have seen the little people. Not just me Uncle Tim.
Funny, he only saw them late at night, walking home from the pub.
Well, at least he had respect for tradition. Unlike you.
Seamus, don't start that again. It's sheer nonsense.
Nonsense, is it? Then tell me, what's become of me family business?
Ah, the Donovan Fishing Company.
We aren't just fishermen.
I know. You're the best fisherman in all of Ireland, with a fine fleet of boats to prove it.
And we've not lost one man or one boat to the sea in all our years as fishermen. And do you know why?
Here we go again.
Because no woman has ever set foot on the deck of a Donovan boat. It's tradition, and it served us well.
Seamus, you're impossible.
A stubborn man I am. You're right. Because when I saw you, I was determined to marry you. Even though my own father warned me against American women.
What? Oh, really?
They're too independent, he said. And no heart for tradition. And it is for that reason that we are now living in this most uncivilized town. And I can't even get my banner hung where I want it. Patrick!
Yes, Don.
Move that banner outside.
Miss Donovan says the rain will wash me all away.
Oh. Do as I say, lad.
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you, Seamus, the writing will wash away, and you'll not draw a single fisherman to lodge here.
Why would you be wanting fishermen to lodge here, Miss Donovan?
Oh, to me, it makes no difference. It's part of Mr. Donovan's plan.
Don't mock me, woman. You've done enough harm already.
Seamus, this is sheer nonsense. Do what you like with the banner. Just call me when the children arrive.
Women, what was the good Lord thinking when he created them?
What is it Miss Donovan has done, sir?
I'll tell you, Patrick. She's a stubborn one, me Abby. Right off, I told her I'd be wanting sons, but when the time came, our firstborn child was a girl.
No.
Yes. The community was in an uproar. There hadn't been a single female born to a Donovan in County Kerry since 1756.
1756.
My great-aunt Catherine named my own daughter after her. In fact, it was Aunt Katie who started her own Donovan tradition.
And what tradition was that?
Donovan women being few and far between made people a bit wary of them. But Katie had a particularly foul disposition. People called her Wildcat, and she'd just as soon spit in your eye than as to look at you.
Mean, huh?
Oh, mean don't begin to describe her, lad. She was a hellion, that one. A beauty, though. Many young men came a-courting, but eventually her temper drove them all away. Naturally, Aunt Katie never married.
That's just too bad.
Too bad? It was nearly a disaster. We lost a whole branch of the Donovan clan because of it.
Well, how come?
Catherine was the eldest child. Since she was never wed, none of her 8 brothers was able to.
And why not?
Tradition, me boy. The oldest child must marry first, before the other siblings are allowed to.
How come? That sounds like a dumb tradition to me,
Hey, that's me family traditions you're talking about. I'll have you know, it's a tradition we still uphold today. In fact, it's why I had to leave my native land.
To come to Seattle?
Not at first. 15 years ago, I asked my cousin Ian to run my boats so I can move my family to Boston. Don't you want to know why?
Why is that? I don't know why. I don't know why.
Because of that blasted curse. I knew that husband would be found among the men of Ireland. So I moved my family to Boston. But it goes further than that. Me wife, she's so stubborn. You know, that woman gave me 5 daughters and not 1 son.
Wow.
Because of the blasted curse, I knew not a husband would be found among the men of Ireland. And that's why I moved to America.
So then you moved to Seattle.
No. There were fishermen in Boston. Ones that I could marry to my daughters and take back to Ireland. But it didn't work out too well.
No marriage proposals, eh?
Oh, proposals came every day for Bridget and Maeve and Moira. Even me babe Alana, who's only 17, has been asked for twice. But no one will have Katie. Until she's spoken for, I can give none of the others away.
Is she homely?
Bite your tongue, lad. A more beautiful girl you've never seen in all your life. What a handful she is. Too much for any man, American or Irish, to tame. Seems she's inherited more from her great-aunt than a name.
Wow.
I'd lost all hope until I read about Seattle. It was perfect. A seaport, so there's bound to be fishermen aplenty. And 10 men for every woman. Surely there's someone out there with enough fortitude to tame Katie. So my wife and I have bought this inn. Our daughters are arriving later today.
Well, okay, I get it. So that's why you call this place the Fisherman's Inn. You only want fishermen to lodge here, so they can marry your daughters and man your boats.
That's right, me boy. Except for Katie, though. I'd marry her to even out of have her. But the others must marry fishermen.
Then it's too bad there are no fishermen in Seattle.
What? No fishermen? How can you say there's no fishermen? Do you see the ocean over yonder? Do you see the boats? How can you say there's no fishermen?
Because, sir, Seattle's a logging town. Those boats you see, they're not fishing. They're just carrying lumber down to San Francisco. There's plenty of sailors, but no fishermen.
Hang the banner, lad.
Yes,
There's
sir.
got to be some fishermen out there somewhere.
Mr. Donovan. I'm Asa Mercer, president of the University and mayor of Seattle.
There's a university here?
Oh, yes, a small one, but growing. This is my friend here, Mr. Judd Williger.
Hello, sir.
Owner of the First Bank of Seattle.
Top of the morning.
And this is Clive Giles, owner and editor of our newspaper.
It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. I'd like to thank you for advertising with us.
Englishman. Eh?
American now, sir.
Well, anyway, Mr. Donovan.
Oh, call me Seamus.
Okay, Seamus, these gentlemen and I came here today to welcome you to our little town and hope that you enjoy your stay here.
Well, I'm sure my daughters will be content. Don't they long to return to Ireland?
Daughters? As in more than one?
Oh, yes. I've been blessed with 5 beautiful girls.
5?
This is great news. If you didn't know, Mr. Donovan, women are very scarce in these parts.
You don't say.
Now these wouldn't be little girls, would they?
Oh, no, not little girls. They're all nearly grown. My eldest Katie, though, is the only one of an age to be married. Should any man take a fancy to her?
Well, when would it be possible to meet these daughters?
Well, they won't be arriving until later on this afternoon.
Well, we'd love to show them around town before anybody else gets a chance to meet them.
I said they won't be arriving until later on this afternoon. You can meet them then.
Well, then I suppose we should get down to business. These gentlemen and I make up the town council. And lately we've been conducting our meetings in the jailhouse since we no longer have a town hall.
It burnt down.
But we're building a new one. It should be finished by the spring.
And we had a previous agreement with the owner of the inn for a reasonable monthly rate that we might use the parlor whenever necessary and have a room for visiting dignitaries and the like.
Well, I don't know.
We'll pay you $10 a month.
Deal.
Good. We'll be needing the parlor tomorrow.
We're meeting with delegates from 2 Indian tribes.
They're at war with each other.
Not to mention attacking us from time to time.
But don't worry. It's been several years since they last burnt our village to the ground.
You have our complete assurance that you and your daughters will be completely safe.
We wouldn't let any harm come to them.
And our federal marshal, Danny O'Brien, will be there to make sure of it.
Well, you see that he does. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got work to do.
Fellas, we've struck it rich. 5 daughters.
That's 1 for each of us, and 2 to spare.
But only one is of marrying age.
Hey, that's okay. I'll take Katie.
You'll take her.
Rance, be realistic. There are 10 men for every 1 woman in Seattle. So your odds of being with one of the Donovan daughters is 10 to 1.
Yes, but we do have a strategic advantage. We're the only ones that know that they're coming.
Yeah, if we work fast enough, we can get ourselves engaged before anybody else finds out.
But only Katie is of marrying age.
Well, at least it's a bird in the hand.
Yeah, waiting a month or 2 won't be so bad.
Well, just remember, keep this quiet or every man in Seattle will turn out.
What about Danny? He's coming here tomorrow for the meeting.
Yeah, I do remember women tend to like that strong, silent type.
And don't forget the badge. Some women find it irresistible.
Oh, come on, guys. Can you picture Danny married?
Yeah, you're right.
I don't even think he'd know what to do with a wife.
Well, everything will be okay, as long as he doesn't try to court my Katie.
You're Katie!
Perhaps we should draw lots, flip a coin or something to decide who pursues her. And the other 2 will pursue the other girls, and there will be no arguing about it.
That's a great idea. No wonder you're the scholar.
Hey, I've got some matchsticks here. We can break them, and whoever gets a short stick gets Katie. Ready? Draw.
This is even more primitive and uncivilized than I'd imagined. They can't expect me to live in a place like this. They traded a perfectly good mansion in Boston for this. One of you toads, go and load the wagon. And be careful with my trunk, it's broken. Are you deaf as well as dumb? I said, go to the broken down plowing wagon and get my stuff.
Excuse me, ma'am. We don't work here. We're the town council.
Oh, sorry, my mistake. I should have said, get your lazy town councilman behind at the wagon and get my stuff.
Yes, ma'am.
What?
Excuse me, miss. Your name isn't Katie, is it?
Katie? No, it's Catherine. Only my father calls me Katie, so see that you don't do it again.
Yes, ma'am. I'll just go help Jacob.
What are you looking at?
No, nothing at all. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Asa Mercer, president of the university and mayor of Seattle.
So? Whoopity-doo. You know what? I don't care about you, your university, or your stinking town. Come here. Or your stinking town. Listen. I hate rain. I hate trees. I hate the Pacific Ocean. I've been on a train for 3 days, a stagecoach for 8. I'm tired and I'm dirty, and I feel a foul temper coming on. So you better stay out of my way. Stop! Mom, why have you brought me to this godforsaken place?
You know, I remember the last time I saw a woman, and it wasn't anything like this.
Excuse me, sir.
I'm sorry.
What for?
What I might say or do to offend you.
I'm sure a fine gentleman such as yourself couldn't do anything to offend anyone. I'm Bridget Donovan. I do hope I found the right place. Is this the establishment of Mr. Seamus Donovan?
Indeed it is. I'm Asa Mercer.
Asa, what a delightful name. Tell me everything about yourself, Mr. Mercer.
Well, shouldn't I get your bags first?
Nonsense. One so finely tailored as yourself couldn't possibly be a bellman.
No, I'm just the mayor and president of the university.
The mayor and a university president? Why, I wouldn't for all the world have you waiting on me. It is I should be waiting on you. Please, please, sit down. Can I get you some tea or perhaps a bite to eat?
Well, aren't you weary after a long journey?
A woman should never be too weary to wait on a handsome, important, intelligent man such as yourself, Mr. Mercer.
Please, call me Asa.
Asa, and you must call me Brodie.
I like that.
It's short for Bridget. So, tell me, Asa, how does Mrs. Mercer like Seattle?
My mother?
Oh, no, your wife.
I'm not married.
That's too bad. Seattle seems like a lonely place for someone who's alone. In Boston, everything was always so festive. There were always parties and things. Here, seems to be only trees and rain. I do hope I won't go mad.
I shall make it my reason for living to see that you don't.
Why, Asa, you wouldn't be trying to sweep me off my feet now, would you?
Oh, I know.
That's too bad, for I would surely like it if you would.
Where are those classified bags? I don't get out of these clothes soon, I will scream. Brodie, I've got the bed by the window, so I don't want to hear about your congestion nonsense.
Oh, of course not, Catherine. Have you met our mayor, Mr. Asa Mercer?
Yeah, very impressive. Mayor of the mud hole. And, I've got first dibs on that, so don't try to get in there before me.
Of course not.
Tell those clowns, when they get here with my bags, to bring them up. Right now, right when they get back, in there.
You'll have to forgive my sister. I'm afraid she's a bit out of sorts.
Well, maybe she's just upset about moving from Boston.
Well,
Or maybe it's just that she misses all her friends.
actually, she hated Boston too, and everyone in it, or so she said. And as I think of it, she hasn't actually struck anyone today.
No.
Unless she did that prior to my coming in.
No, just a little pushing and shoving, but no actual hitting.
But I'd say she's a relatively good spirit.
You mean to say this is her usual state?
Oh, no.
That's relief.
Sometimes she's worse.
And you, Brodie, are you always as kind as Catherine is cruel?
It's in my nature to please as much as it's in Catherine's to provoke.
Struck pure gold.
The younger sisters of Catherine are both sweet and lovely and kind.
And they didn't shove us. Not once.
Allow me to introduce Moira Donovan.
And Maeve, they're twins.
Ladies, meet Asa Mercer, President of the University and Mayor of Seattle.
There's a university here. I'd love to study music.
Maeve has a lovely voice. I've often told her she belongs in the opera.
Oh, I do hope you'll sing for me sometime.
I didn't know bank presidents enjoyed music.
And do you sing as well, dear Moira?
Yes, I do, Clive.
And she has written some lovely prose. Perhaps Mr. Giles would like to hear some of your poems, Moira.
I wouldn't burden a professional such as Mr. Giles with my girlish musings.
Oh, but I'd be very interested in your girlishness. Your musings, I mean.
I've been cheated, been mistreated. When will I be loved? I've been put down, I've been pushed round. When will I be loved? When I find a new man that won't book mine, he always breaks my heart in two, happens every time. I've been made blue, I've been lied to. When will I be
That was so wonderful, Moira.
That is very beautiful.
I just love how the woman on my arm that can sing as well as you.
My daughters!
Oh, we missed you.
Class. Oh, we missed you. But where's my little Lana?
She was outside talking to a boy who was hanging a banner.
Oh.
Getting the bag.
That's Patrick. He's a good lad. Well, come on. Your mother will be so glad to see you.
Friends, this is a great day indeed.
Yes.
Where's my
I love that part. I can say it again.
Come anywhere, Patrick.
You know, it was awfully sweet of you to carry all those heavy bags. You must be ever so strong.
Well, Lana, the lumberjack needs good, strong arms.
You're a lumberjack.
Well, I will be next year when I turn 18.
My, that's so exciting.
Yeah, I'll be making quite a bit of money too, you know. Well, I'll be able to build my own house before I'm even 20.
I suppose once you get a job in a house, the next thing you'll be wanting is a wife.
Yep, what?
Well, a wife.
Yeah, I suppose, but first, I'd like to get a dog.
A dog?
Yeah, I've never had a dog. And
Where is that truck?
Maybe for now you ought to get Catherine's crunch. It's the big one.
maybe she ought to get it herself.
Kid, you've got a lot to learn.
Seamus, don't you care about the future of your daughters?
Woman, if I didn't care about their futures, I never would have left Ireland. It's always the girls I'm thinking of.
The girls are your fishing business.
Abby, how can you say such a thing? It's their happiness I'm after having, and nothing more.
Fine, then it's agreed. I'll hire a teacher for them right away.
But they've already had all the schooling a woman would need. Cooking and cleaning and sewing. What use have they for anything else?
Seamus in Ireland, that might be all right. But our daughters are American women.
Nonsense. Every blessed one of them was born on Irish soil.
But we're in America now. They need more reading and history and mathematics.
Mathematics? What on earth does a girl need with mathematics?
Seamus, I'm going to ask Mr. Mercer to recommend a tutor right away. And that's final.
Oh, all right. Have it your way.
Good day, friends. My name is Darian Spector. This is Agatha.
Are you a fisherman?
No. We will, however, be needing accommodations for a few weeks.
Well, didn't you see my banner?
Well, there was a sign hanging out front. The writing was washed away.
Told ya.
Well, it's supposed to say Fisherman's Inn.
So you only let rooms to fishermen?
But you're the only inn in town. Where else are we to go?
Oh, you don't have to go anywhere else. There are plenty of other rooms upstairs for fishermen, should any show up. Besides, this one's got a wife already.
Oh, all right. For the two of you, then?
Well, actually, I'll be needing a room for myself, as well as several rooms for several beautiful young ladies. And Agatha also.
Why would you be traveling with several young ladies, Mr. Spector?
Purely business, my good lady, purely business. I'm opening a social club.
Yes,
A
he
social
is.
club?
My brother felt that it was his civic duty to bring over some young women to help ease the loneliness of being here.
Now, of course, this strictly is on the up and up, you see. You see, the last time I was here in Seattle, I noticed a sharp difference between the number of men and the number of women.
Their parents were just willing to let them go?
They're all of legal age.
Yes, they are. Fine young ladies from wonderful, church-going, upstanding families. Yes.
Well, I'm sure you and your young ladies will be welcome here. But I'd really be wishing you'd have waited a couple more weeks to come.
And why?
Now, Seamus, a few more young ladies in town aren't going to hurt Katie's chances of finding a proper husband.
Katie?
Our daughter. Seamus is afraid she'll never marry and that he'll never get back to Ireland in his dear old fishing boats.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
It's some silly Donovan tradition that the oldest child must marry first. That's the Irish for you. I'll show Mr. Spector and his sister to their rooms. Please find the boy and have him get their luggage.
All right. Patrick! Where are you, lad?
Agatha, would you please go outside and bring the young ladies in while I take care of the rooms?
All right.
Please sign our register, Mr. Spector. Oh, my. Sorry. The girls will be in rooms 2 and 4. They're adjoining. And you'll be just down the hall in room 7.
Room 7?
Yes.
Fine. Now, could I take a look at the rooms before the young ladies come in?
Of course. Oh, right this way.
Very nice. Splendid.
Come on! Get out here, you little lazy. Ugh. You girls wait here. I'll find Darian.
And don't even think of leaving. There's nothing out there but wilderness as far as the eye can see.
Then why did you keep us locked in that wagon?
Oh, my. For your own protection, Elsa dear. My brother and I think of you all as if you were our own little sisters.
That were charging us double what the train would have cost to get here.
Oh, dear, you forget that the railroads don't extend credit.
But they don't charge 60% interest either.
Nor do they offer the personal protection that my brother and I have.
Some protection. Days without food except bread and water.
That was your own fault. There are always consequences for bad behavior.
Changing your mind is not bad behavior. None of us would have agreed to come here if we'd known what it was going to be like.
But you did agree.
And you signed contracts. And now you must honor those contracts or you'll all be thrown into jail.
At least in jail we get a decent meal and a warm bed.
You should all be down on your hands and knees thanking my brother and me for taking you out of that orphanage and offering you a new start in the West. Now, if I hear one more word of dissension, you'll all go without dinner tonight. And in fact, breakfast tomorrow. Now stay here!
I never thought I'd miss Philadelphia. That horrible orphanage. We were all scrubbing floors. But it seems like paradise compared to this.
Don't cry, Marie. We mustn't let them see any weakness, or they'll just bully us around more.
But they made it sound so wonderful.
Yeah, see the wide open space and be a pioneer woman. Meet a handsome young man, get married, and raise a family on the new frontier.
I've hardly seen a man since we left Missouri.
Me either. But at least we are finally here. And once Darian gets the social club open, we'll be able to start working and paying off our contracts. Don't kid yourself, Elsa. There's Darian and Agatha charging us for food, lodging, and transportation.
Not to mention interest.
We'll never be able to work, y'all. We'll be their slaves until we're too old and ready to find us. Never mind having a family. Now look what you've done. Don't cry, Marie. We'll find a way to get free of Darian and Agatha.
Stop crying, Marie. Here he comes.
Ladies, Agatha is waiting for you at the top of the stairs. You are to go straight to your room and speak to no one.
Why shouldn't we speak to anyone, Darian? What are you afraid of?
Me? I am not afraid of anything. I assure you it is for your own protection. Now, get upstairs, the lot of you. Bunch of motherless rats, not a spirited filly among them. I'd like to meet the woman that could stand up to the likes of Darian Spector. But these will earn me a pretty penny anyway. Hey, 6 months, I'll just return to the East and bring back more women. As long as I have the only women in Seattle, men will just be overjoyed to spend their hard-earned money here in my saloon. I'm a genius! Oh, 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 oh. On the day that I was born, the nurses gathered round to see the wild wonder at the joy they had found. The head nurse spoke up, said, "Leave this one alone. She could tell by the way I was bad to the bone. Bad to the bone, bad to the bone, bad, bad bone." Now, when I walk down the street, king and queen stand aside. Oh, and every woman I meet, whew, you better believe they all stay satisfied. I'm gonna tell you, pretty baby, what I see, I make my own. Hey, did I forget to tell you? I'm bad to the bone. Bad to the bone. Bad to the bone. Bad. Bad to the bone. Oh, man to the bone. Oh, my lordy.
What on earth could anybody find to laugh about in this pitiful place?
Why, everything. And nothing at all. You must be Katie.
Catherine! To you, only my father calls me Katie. See that you don't do it again.
You are a spirited woman indeed. I think I like that.
Well, I don't give a fig what you or any other man likes. I'm not easily swayed by pretty little words like my silly sisters are.
Sisters?
Yeah. Not even here a full day, and they're already taken by the men in Seattle. The little empty heads can't wait to be married. Well, I'm sorry, but I refuse to become the property of some man who's not half as smart as I am, but who can own land and vote while I can't. Yeah.
Sisters?
Yeah. 4 of them.
Oh, dear.
All pea-brain imbeciles just can't wait to be married.
4 single women? This could ruin my entire plan.
What? Plan?
My goodness, you have such spunk. Such spunk. Yeah, I like spunk, yes.
I don't care.
Yeah. Could I compel you to maybe take a wagon ride with me?
No, you may not. Men, egocentric, self-centered jerks.
That is the meanest, nastiest woman I have ever known. I would like nothing better than to tame her. Oh, but 4 sisters. Oh, this is a disaster. They must all be gotten rid of. I will make that my first order of business.
Tell me where he's going. Watch him, because I'm the first one out.
Ready, set, go.
I just love Seattle.
Me too. I am so glad we came. I thought no place could be as wonderful as Boston, but I was wrong.
Yeah, there's nothing like rain and mud and not one dress shop in the entire town.
You can stand for dresses, Alana.
And a little rain never hurt anybody.
Just a minor inconvenience.
I just don't get it. What's so great about Seattle?
The men.
Is that all Boston had men too?
Oh, but not like Asa Mercer.
Clyde Giles. Or Judd Terwilliger.
Well, it doesn't matter how wonderful they are, unless Catherine gets married, none of you can either.
We know. We tried talking to Catherine about it this morning, but she's so stubborn.
She insists she'll never marry.
She has never met a man worth giving up her independence.
Well, Catherine says before a woman is married, she's her father's property. And after she's married, she's her husband's property. So Catherine doesn't think that's right. She says it's oppressive.
Now she's filling Alana's head with her nonsense.
Well, that is fine for Catherine. But what about the rest of us?
That's right. Thanks to Catherine, we could all wind up old maids.
Why don't you just get married then?
Catherine, you know we can't.
The tradition.
Oh, break the tradition. If you had any courage, you get married, tradition or not.
Catherine, such talk.
You know why you won't? Because you're a bunch of demure, mealy-mouthed, eyes cast down,
wishing and hoping and thinking and praying, planning and dreaming each night of his job. It won't get you into he likes to do. Wear your hair just for him. 'Cause you won't get him. Thinking and a praying, wishing and a hoping. 'Cause wishing and hoping and thinking and praying, planning and dreaming, his kisses will start. That won't get you into his heart. So if you're thinking how great true love is, all you gotta do is hold him and kiss him and squeeze him and love him. Yeah, just do it. And after you do, you will be his. You will be his. You will be
How dare you talk to us that way? How dare I?
There now, that's better. Pretty little things like you shouldn't be scrapping.
Are you all right, honey? Let go of me now.
Oh,
Let
seems
go
like
of me now.
can't very well hold you all day and all night. Now, can I? Any suggestions, ladies?
I'll go get Father. He can always calm her down. Hurry.
Father? So you're all sisters, are you?
Yes, we're the daughters of Donovan. I'm Bridget, and this is May, and Maura, and that was Lana, who just ran out.
Pleased to meet you, ladies. I'm Danny O'Brien, Federal Marshal.
Oh, let's all have tea and cookies, shall we? Let's make a quilt or something.
Who's this wild thing?
That would be Catherine, our oldest sister.
Ah, Katie, is it?
My name is Catherine, not Katie. I'll beat you till you're black and blue. I'll pound you to a pulp. I'll beat you so bad your parents won't recognize you.
Pleasure to meet you too, Miss Katie.
Here now. And what's all the commotion?
It's Catherine again.
Now, Katie, you settle down so this young fella can let you go.
He's got a hold of me.
Well, that's what it looks like, yeah.
Well, tell him to let me go.
And who might you be, my good man?
I'm, Danny O'Brien, sir. I'd shake your hand, but to be quite honest, I'm afraid to let go of this one.
Paul, this maniac's like to kill me, and you're exchanging pleasantries with him.
Katie, will you be still?
What?
Okay, you can let her go now.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
Catherine! Shame on you! Off to your room. All of you girls upstairs now.
Aww.
Go on. There's plenty of packing to be done. I'm so sorry, Mr. O'Brien. I'm sure Catherine didn't mean any harm.
You must be the new owner of the Seattle Inn.
Seamus Donovan. And you mean the Seattle Fisherman's Inn?
Fisherman? But there are hardly any...
I know that. Look, Danny, you seem to be a strong man.
Well, you know, in my line of work.
Are you a married man, Danny?
Well, no, I'm not, sir.
You know, a man really ought to be married. You should seriously consider it.
I haven't really met anyone.
It looked like you and Katie was getting pretty well acquainted.
Well, I would hardly call that acquainted.
You know, she's of a marrying age.
I'm sure some lucky man...
I think she likes you.
Me? But I don't think so.
Did she punch you?
No, but she tried to.
Well, did she spit on you?
No.
Well then, she likes you.
But she stomped my foot and said some things that weren't very nice.
Oh, sticks and stones, me boy. Sticks and stones.
Donnie! We need to talk to you. Sit down.
We gotta talk to you about this.
Gentlemen, great news.
What is it?
Miss Donovan asked me to tutor her daughters.
By any chance, would you be needing any help?
Well, I kind of thought you do, but I kind of want to do that. Since history is my major and everything, I told Miss Donovan that I'd be more than happy to tutor her daughters in history, and I could possibly persuade the banker.
Me?
And the newspaper man. For you to teach them English and for you to teach them mathematics.
Good show.
Gentlemen, a word to the wise. Beware of the one they call Katie. She's a woman who'd be a challenge to any man. Well, I must be off. Well, aren't you going to stay for supper? I'd like to, but duty calls. I'll be back in a few days to check on things. Boy.
Here they are, Mr. Mercer. They're all yours. Told Bridget she didn't need any more schooling, but she insisted. I just know Mr. Mercer can teach me lots of new things, Ma. I'm very eager to learn. That's the spirit. Ta-ta.
Come on, I will give you a private math lesson in the stables.
Shall we adjourn to the woods? I'll recite some poetry to you.
I know a nice spot down by the river where we can make discuss history.
Mr. Mercer.
Maybe you should let Ma talk to Mr. Spector. I know she'd agree it's not good to stay shut up in here all day.
Maybe we should, girls. No, we can't, remember?
Why not?
Remember what Darian said?
Yeah, I'm getting used to having 3 squares every day and a soft mattress every night.
What do you mean by that?
Never mind. Tell us about the men. Are they handsome?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. The first thing that I'm going to do as soon as I have my contract, I'm going to find the first man I see, handsome or not, and I'm going to tell them to get married.
Me too. That's the main reason I came to Seattle.
I've already met the man of my dreams. For all the good it'll do me.
I know what you mean. Catherine is standing in the way of all of our happiness.
She sure is. Listen to yourself. If you're so in love, why don't you do as Catherine suggested and break the stupid tradition?
It wouldn't be right.
It would break Father's heart.
Have you no feelings? What tradition? What is she talking about?
None of us can be married until our oldest sister, Catherine, is.
Oh, I've met her. It looks like us Speckers will meet you Donovan to the altar after all.
Anyway, I don't know why you want to hook up with the first man you meet. Don't you remember what Mother's always told us? Take your time, make the right match, because it's forever, and forever is a very long time.
I don't think it matters anyway. By the time we're free to marry, we'll have forgotten what we wanted to in the first place. Come on, girls, we should get back up to our room.
We've got chores.
Ready? Hey, nice place.
Yes, I suppose so.
You should see our place. It's a real dump compared to this.
Well, right. Now, when did you say you estimated the completion of the saloon?
2 weeks tops. Well, the rain has slowed us down somewhat.
Hey, since we're here, do you think we could have a look at them?
Them what?
The girls! Oh, I haven't seen a woman in 3 years!
You're just gonna have to wait a few weeks like everyone else.
Not everyone else.
Well, what do you mean?
I just saw 3 of them just the other day.
Oh, well, how could you?
There's
My
with,
girls have not stepped foot outside of this inn.
there's with that banker, the professor guy, and the guy who runs the newspaper.
Ah, well, those weren't Spectre girls.
Who were they then?
Well, they must have been a few of the daughters of Donovan.
Some? You mean there's more?
A few, perhaps, but, you shouldn't worry about that right now.
What? Well, what was that word? Go. You thinking of it? Why wait if his are available now?
Well, don't you understand? The Donovan family tradition holds that in order for the rest of the daughters to be married off, the oldest daughter must be married. See, that must happen first, you see. Okay,
Well, lead me to this, Miss Katie. I'll be glad to marry her if you'll help out the other fellas in town.
Well, you can't.
Why not?
Well, she's engaged.
She is?
Yes, yes. Just recently.
To who?
To me. Yeah.
That's good. That means her sisters will be available before you know it.
Well, actually, we've agreed on a long engagement. Years, perhaps. I just wanted to make sure my business here was going well until we were married. So you're much better off getting the saloon finished. Then for a small fee, you can see a Spectre girl any time you'd like.
Yes!
And then for another small fee, they'll even dance with you.
Wow!
And for another small fee, they'll even serve you a scrumptious meal. So get going, get going.
Come on, guys, let's go. See, Miss Spectre.
Agatha, we have got to do something about those daughters of Donovan.
Oh, what do you suggest?
Well, I'm going to get engaged to Catherine.
What? That doesn't sound like much of a plan to me.
Well, you do understand the Donovan family tradition whereby the oldest daughter must be married before any of the others can be? You remember that?
Mrs. Donovan mentioned it.
Oh, yes, see, so if I get engaged to Catherine, see, I might not marry her, right now, but that'll keep our girls safe, the only one.
Okay. Oh, Darian, it's a grand scheme.
Well, I know it.
But there's just one problem.
And what's that?
Getting Catherine to agree to marry, well, you.
Are you serious? I'm charming and sophisticated. What woman could resist me?
Everyone, Darian.
Well, I try. I really do.
I really don't think getting engaged to her will be as easy as you think.
Well, we'll just see about that.
Where's my Rachel? There she is now. You can start wooing her right away.
I will. Now make yourself scarce.
But I want to watch.
Agatha?
Here you go. I'm going in. Are you still here?
Now that is no way to talk to the man of your dreams.
More likely my nightmares.
Oh, very, very funny. Very funny.
Excuse me. I need some fresh air.
I think going out would be a very, very grave mistake.
And why is that?
Well, other men might cast their eyes upon you, and it would create such a jealousy in me. I don't know what I might do to them.
What?
Catherine, I love you.
Are you crazy?
A little, maybe. I know you pretend to be cruel and heartless, but I think you really like me, too. Let her rip. There you go. Nice and loud.
Any man of mine better be proud of me. Even when I'm ugly, he still better love me. I can be late for a date, that's fine, but he better be on time. Any man of mine say it fits just right when I last year's dress just a little too tight. And anything I do or say better be okay when I have a bad hair day. And if I change my mind, million times. I want to hear him say, yeah, 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 I like it that way. Any man of mine better walk the line, better show me a teasing, squeezing, pleasing kind of time. Any man who knows how the story goes, it's gotta be a heartbeat, breathtaking, earthquake kind. Any man of any man of mine better disagree when he sees another woman's looking better than me. When I cook dinner and I burn it right, I better say, I like it like that. Yeah. And if I change my mind a million times, I want to hear him say, yeah, 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 I like it that way. Any man of mine better walk the line, better show me a teasing, squeezing, pleasing kind of time. Any man who knows how the story goes, gotta be a heartbeat, breathtaking, earthquake kind. Any man of mine. I wanna hear you say yeah, 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 I like it that way.
Any man.
Any man of mine better walk the line, better show me a teasing, squeezing, pleasing kind of time. Any man who knows how the story goes, it's gotta be a heartbeat, breathtaking, earthquake kind. Any man of mine. You want to be a man of mine? Sure. No. Kick, turn, stomp, stomp. You gotta shimmy and shake. Make the earthquake. Hit the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up. Oh! Up. You want to be a man of mine? No.
Now it's time you put away those foolish games and admitting your true feelings.
Take your hands off me!
Mrs. Gooch has...
You tore my sweat!
Danny! What a pleasure it is to be seeing you again.
Won't you join us for supper, Danny?
Sorry, I was actually looking for Asa Mercer. I was told I'd find you.
Well, he's not here, so leave. No doubt he's giving lessons to the girls. I've never seen them so happy to learn.
Especially Bridget. I thought she'd have had enough of schooling by now.
But the right teacher makes everything so exciting.
Katie, will you be still?
Stop pestering Mr. O'Brien, Catherine. It isn't ladylike.
Pester him again? Look, his hands are on me. He's got me.
Okay, let me go.
You just behave and stop trying to strangle that poor man.
Well, he had it. Oh, dear. Mr. Spector, are you all right?
He had it coming to him, and so do you.
Katie, will you leave Danny alone and go find Asa and your sisters?
Cover up the tongue.
Oh, now that wasn't nice. Man, He looks downright unconscious to me.
I think it's safe to assume he'll be out for a while.
I don't want him in here. He's cluttering up the couch, and there's no place for anyone to sit.
Oh, all right. Let's get him upstairs.
Go on.
What's going on?
Danny, that's funny. I could have sworn I heard Catherine yelling, "You're idiot, friend, Danny O'Brien's waiting to see you at the end."
Oh, that's what she said, all right.
I'm surprised you could hear. Running the other way like that.
I was not running away. I was just merely drawing her attention away from the rest of you.
Well, he's not here right now, and neither is Catherine. So I think we'll be safe for a while.
What's wrong, Bridie?
Asa, you know I can't marry you. You know Father wants us all to marry fishermen so they can come back to Ireland and help him run the family business.
But isn't that what you want?
I've never allowed myself to think about what I want.
Well, maybe it's about time you started.
It doesn't matter anyway. Catherine scared away every single man who's ever showed the slightest interest in her.
That's right. The Donovan tradition has become the Donovan curse.
Just like our great Aunt Catherine, no man in his right mind will have our sister either.
Well, there has to be someone.
He'd have to be strong. Catherine's crippled many men.
He'd have to be very independent. Catherine loathes convention.
But he'd also have to be kind and gentle and patient enough to suffer with a wife like Catherine would be.
Hey, son! I'll be out as soon as I put on Mr. Spector's pajamas.
Why would he want to wear Mr. Spector's pajamas?
Danny!
Of course, he's perfect.
Last week, after she tried to beat him up and couldn't, I thought she'd never stop talking about him.
Well, what'd she say?
I don't think I should repeat it.
But that's not the point. At least she's talking about him. She's never met any other man worth her interest at all.
But how are we going to get Danny interested in her?
I have a plan.
What?
Clock, do you remember your Shakespeare?
Indeed I do. The bard is one of my favorites.
Do you recall the taming of the shrew?
Of course.
What's the taming of the shrew?
It's one of William Shakespeare's most famous plays about a cruel and hateful woman who is finally tamed by a man.
How does he do it?
I'll explain later. Just allow us some time alone with Danny.
Of course.
Boy. Hey, Danny.
Danny.
Hey. Sit down. Sit down. I'm Danny. How do you feel about women?
Well, I don't know too many since I came to this territory. I like them, though, most of them.
Well, you ever thought about getting married?
Someday, maybe. But the life of federal marshal is pretty demanding. Lots of travel, irregular hours.
Pretty unconventional, huh?
You could say that. Not sure it'd be fair to ask a woman to marry me.
But what if the right woman came along now? Would you marry her?
I don't know. All that danger. She'd never have me there at the house.
Well, what if her father had a business? A very, lucrative business. And needed an able-bodied, intelligent young man to run that business.
You could take it over for him.
You might have to relocate, but you'd make more money, that's for sure.
And best of all, you would have a loving, caring, beautiful wife to come home to after every day.
Sounds like a dream come true.
Well, wake up, because it's just about to happen to you.
Huh?
We know a woman who is just crazy about you.
She hasn't stopped talking about you since you met.
And her father's got a successful business, but no son to run it.
And if you were to marry this girl, you could quit being a federal marshal and take over the business.
He'd be happy.
Who'd be happy?
And she'd be happy.
Well, who is she? Wait, she's got to be one of Donovan's daughters. The only women I've met lately.
You're right.
Is it Bridget? Let it be Bridget. She's beautiful.
No, I'm afraid, Danny, Bridget is mine.
Well, then Mabel Moore, either one. They're both lovely girls.
Sorry, old boy. They're already spoken for.
Yep. Well, not Alana. She's darling, but a little bit young.
No, Danny, not Alana.
Well, the only other one I remember meeting was Katie, and I could... Katie? It's Katie? But she hates me. And frankly, she scares me a little.
That's just her way. That's just her way.
Besides, I wouldn't even know how to go about courting her.
Well, we'll help you.
How?
Well, we can tell you everything you need to know to win her.
Like what?
Well, for instance, when she's mean to you, you tell her that she's the kindest, most wonderful woman in the world.
And contradict her. When she says it's day, tell her it's not. Stuff like that.
Why?
She likes strong, aggressive men who aren't afraid to challenge her.
Oh, and when you take her out to eat, don't let her eat anything. Tell her the food's not good enough for her.
Nothing's good enough for her, so don't let her have anything.
And insist on calling her Katie.
She pretends to hate it, but actually it's a test of your assertiveness.
I don't know, fellas.
She is a beautiful girl.
Yeah, she is nice to look at.
You could take over a business, her father's.
Running that inn?
No, not the inn.
Well, what then?
Nothing you couldn't handle. The important thing is that you'd have each other for the rest of your lives.
You wouldn't have to wander lonely on those cold winter nights.
I must admit, that sounds inviting.
Tell me to design this town. No sidewalks, no clothing stores, no museums, just mud, trees, and rain. And you, don't you have anything better to do? Would you go arrest somebody or something?
Is she crazy about you or what?
She wants you, Danny!
That woman is in love.
You know, guys, being a fiddle marshal isn't all bad.
Oh. Come on, Danny. We'll help you plan your strategy.
Oh, money. Oh, go on. Oh.
Woo. I'm so bored, I wouldn't even mind scrubbing floors.
I hate it here. I'm so sorry, Miss Friends. I want to go.
Believe me, once Darian and Agatha get that social club open, you'll be so tired, you'll think back on this as the good old days.
At least the Donovans are wonderful. Seamus and Abby are like the mom and dad I never had.
I know what you mean. And the girls are like sisters. Well, except for Katie. She's kind of grouchy.
That's how sisters usually are.
Well, I guess it's okay then.
Maybe we should tell Mr. and Mrs. Donovan what the Specters are doing to us. You know, charging us so much interest and everything.
What do you think they could do about it? We did walk into it with our eyes wide open.
It just doesn't seem right is all. I don't mind paying my fair share, but with all the Specters are charging, I'll never be able to pay them back.
Where is Agatha, and why has she left you alone?
She's taking a bath.
Agatha! Hurry up!
Aren't we a little old to need a babysitter?
You have already proven that you cannot be trusted. And until every penny of my money is paid back, you will be strictly supervised.
I was taking a bath.
No more baths until the social club is finished. Now get these girls upstairs.
Come along, girls.
But you, wait.
Go.
But you wait a moment. They won't be going anywhere. I locked up their warm clothes in the wagon. Oh.
Darian?
Yes.
Why are you in your pajamas? It's past noon.
I have no idea, but we have something far more important to discuss. It's about Catherine.
Mm-hmm. What about her?
She won't entertain my advances.
Told you so.
Shut up! In order for our plan to be a complete success, we have got to get Donovan's daughters out of circulation.
Yeah.
We have no choice but to go to Plan B.
And what is Plan B?
We kidnap Catherine. We kidnap Catherine and hold her hostage, I guess you could say, until Seamus agrees to leave Seattle with his daughters.
And why is he going to agree to do this?
Well, what? Well, I don't. He's just going to.
Okay.
But what I want you to do is I want you to go tell those 3 stooges I hired to meet me right here in 30 minutes.
Why are they going to come?
They're going to do the dirty work for me.
Oh.
They won't even know they're doing it.
Okay.
Okay? You got it? You understand?
Yeah.
Good. Now get moving.
Well, can I get dressed first?
No, there's not a moment to lose.
But what if some female-starved man sees me and attacks?
Don't worry, Agatha. These men are lonesome, not deranged.
Right.
I guess I should go get dressed now. Although I thought I'd already done that. Oh, well.
March 3rd. Dear Journal, here we are in Seattle, and though Paul tries to keep a bright outlook, I know he doesn't like it any more than he did in Boston. He misses his dear old Ireland. Ma seems happy enough, and my silly sisters have all gone and fallen in love, except Alana. She's the only sensible one, besides me, that is. As for me, I'm miserable, as usual.
Excuse me.
I thought I told you never to come back here again.
You can't fool me, Katie. You're being rude. I know what that means. I've decided to court you.
Court me? Are you a complete idiot? What is it with the men in this town, anyway?
Go ahead, call me names, but I know how you really feel. As far as I'm concerned, you're the sweetest girl in all of Seattle.
I'm warning you.
Come here. Sit on my lap.
You are crazier than that Spectre fellow.
So, you do like me more than him. Asa was right.
That is it. I want you out of my house before I...
Sorry, no can do, my love. I have official business with Running Bear.
Well, he's out. Come back later.
That's okay. I'll wait. Come here and I'll let you wait next time.
You are a deranged man, and I want you out of my house now.
Well, Donnie! What are you doing here?
Just talking to your daughter.
Well, will you be staying for lunch? You know, Abby's corned beef and cabbage is heavenly.
I'd like that, Seamus.
And did you know that Katie's quite the cook herself?
Pa! Can't you see what's going on here?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No! Pa! Make him take his hands off me. Watch you! Touch me! Watch your toes! Hi.
The girl's truly taken a liking to you, Donnie.
I know. I've decided to court her.
Well, that's a bit of good news. Come on. Corned beef's awaiting.
All right. Oh, wait. Plan. Right here. Right here. Open. Okay. You see right here? Right there.
Okay, I think we've got it.
Okay, good.
We wait out front,
Uh-huh.
And you send your financier.
And then we tie her up and gag her?
Tie her up, yeah.
And hide her in our cabin and wait for you.
That's right.
Then you'll come in here and take her to surprise birthday party.
Surprise birthday party, that's right. And see, with Catherine out of the way, we'll be free to make all the preparations without her suspecting a thing.
What do we tell her if she asks us why we're keeping her here?
Why you're keeping her? Well, don't, wait, well, okay, here. Tell her you're sworn to secrecy. There you go. Okay, you got it? Good, now go outside and wait.
Okay, come on, guys.
Okay, now how to get her out here. Oh. Catherine! Miss Donovan! Miss Donovan!
What do you want?
Well, I just wanted to let you know that there was a young man that just came by here.
A federal marshal?
He was a federal marshal. How did you know? Yes, he was. And he was saying some of the most terrible things about you. Terrible. Of course, I tried to come to your defense.
What kind of things?
Well, I would rather not repeat them.
Spit it out.
Well, he said that you were the cruelest and the meanest, nastiest woman he'd ever known.
Is that all? I thought he might be talking about how sweet I was again.
Well, come to think of it, he did say something about that.
What?
Yes. He might have even used the word love.
I will kill him. Where is he?
Out that door. Good. Now the note. Seamus Donovan, if you ever want to see Catherine again, you and the rest of your daughters must be out of town on the morning stagecoach. Once you are gone, we will put her on the coach tomorrow afternoon. If you fail to heed this warning, it will be the end for Catherine Donovan. Sincerely, the kidnappers. Very nice, very nice. Okay. Seamus, come quickly!
What is it, Mr. Spector?
This was just delivered.
If you fail to heed this warning, it will be the end for Catherine Donovan.
What? Seamus, give me that. What is it, Mom? Catherine, she's been kidnapped.
Where did you get this, Mr. Spector?
I was standing right here, and there was a knock at the door. I answered it, but there was no one there. That note was lying on the doorstep.
Abby, you and the girls go get packed. I'm gonna go find Danny.
Please hurry, Seamus.
Oh. Miss Donovan, is there anything I can do to help?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Spector. There isn't anything. Mr. Spector?
Yes?
Could you please find Asa Mercer for me? He is the mayor. I think you should know about this.
Of course.
Please, girls, hurry and pack your things quickly. Hold on.
What is it, Bridie?
This note. It was written on Catherine's journal paper. See? The little shamrocks in the corner. Doll gave it to her last Christmas.
Maybe she was writing in her journal when she was kidnapped.
And the kidnappers took the time to write the note before hauling her away? I don't think so, Anna.
Then what does this mean?
It means whoever wrote this note wrote it right here in the inn.
One of our guests?
That depends. Who's been here today?
Well, let's see. Patrick? No, he would never kidnap Catherine. He's scared to death of her.
The Spectre girls and Agatha haven't left their rooms all day.
Asa, Judd, and Clive have been out all morning.
Could it be? Darian Spectre.
But why?
That's what we have to find out. Girls, get out here! You whiny little brats, get out here now! Ugh. We just heard about Catherine. You must be terrified.
And maybe you'd like to tell us what you know about this?
That's ridiculous. What would I know about it?
Good question. All you girls have been pretty hush-hush since you arrived last week.
We can't say anything, or Agatha will tell Darian, and they'll think we are moving it on the floor again.
Is that so? Maybe we need to employ Catherine's method to get the truth out of this one. Let's go! Ow! I swear, it wasn't my idea. We just came here to open up a saloon. You know, lots of women in skimpy dresses and lots of food. And we figured before too long, every man in Seattle will be spending his money here.
Saloon? You told us it was a social club? You never said we had to serve drinks.
You just said we'd have to talk to girls and dance with them once in a while.
You didn't say anything about wearing skimpy dresses. What happened to Catherine?
I don't know. Ow, I really don't know. It was all Darian's idea. In fact, I was against it from the start.
Where is Catherine now?
I don't know. Let go of me. I don't know.
Sorry, I couldn't find it.
Let go of me.
He's gone. He took Danny's horse. Come on here. I thought the other one.
Don't worry, Patrick. I'll explain it to you later.
For now, Patrick, you and Alana can kiss me out the shed. Let go of me! Let go of me! Oh, I hate you!
I hope you believe we had nothing to do with the kidnapping of your sister.
Of course we do.
Is there anything we can do to help?
We've got to find out where Darian's keeping Catherine.
It seems like he must certainly have had some help.
Have you seen him talking to anyone else in town?
Just those three fellows he hired to build a social club.
Where do they live?
I've heard Darian tell Agatha they're camping out behind the new building for now.
But they also said something about some kind of little cabin in the woods somewhere.
Oh, yeah, that is right. Darian said they were imbeciles because they built the cabin at the foot of the cliff. And half the time, it's covered in snow from an avalanche.
Thanks for your help. Now, would you girls mind telling Ma? I know she's worried sick.
Of course.
Let me see the note.
Never mind that. We know where Catherine is.
You do? Where?
You know those three loggers were building Darian's saloon?
Saloon?
We'll explain later, Doc. Danny, do you know their cabin?
Sure. It's right under Simon Flood. Not a very safe place to be in the winter.
She's there.
I'll get her.
Danny, one more thing. Darian Spector's the kidnapper.
And he took your horse.
Well, then I'll have to walk. But I promise you, Seamus, he'll not harm a hair on her head, or I'm not. Danny O'Brien, Federal Marshal.
Just try and get there before she kills the mom. Please, lady, we didn't mean no harm. Yeah, we was just helping your finance day. Surprise you for your birthday party.
If you let us go, we promise we'll take you back home.
Idiots. I don't have a fiancé. My birthday's in December, not March.
He said they had lots of preparations to make.
Who said?
Your finance day.
Who is my fiancé?
You don't know?
Lady, I've heard of surprise birthday parties, but never surprise weddings.
God, listen. Right now, right here, you're involved. Right, you get that right now, right here. You're involved in a kidnapping.
Somebody help us! Help! Please help us! Please! Please!
Shut up! Clayton.
to kidnap us.
So, Darian Spector is responsible for this.
Yeah, well, if you know what's good for you, you'll let's go before Danny gets here.
Danny? What is he gonna do?
He's the law of these parts. He'll rescue us.
He's not gonna rescue y'all. He's gonna rescue me.
Lady, who's tied up? You were us.
Okay. All right. So, think you're tough? Are you?
Please don't hurt us. Please don't hurt us, lady, please.
Here. 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 Let your friends loose. I'm gonna go freshen up.
Thanks, lady.
And don't worry about anything. I'll explain everything to you all.
I don't know about you fellas, but I want to spend one more second with that woman.
I'm with you, Mom.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Come on, come on, come on.
Where are those morons?
Okay, I'm ready to head back to town.
I don't think so, Miss.
Harry Inspector.
Donovan,
You have some nerve coming back in this territory.
where are my accomplices?
Probably halfway back to Seattle. Just spill the beans, buddy. It's all over, Jerry.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I think so.
I still have you to barter with. I will simply go back to your father and I will exchange you for the Spectre girls and we'll just move farther north. There are plenty of towns around where women are scarce. However, I do admit your father probably owes me a little bit for my losses I suffered here while in Seattle. And I'm sure a lock of your hair would convince him that I mean business.
No! No! Quit! Quit!
Scoundrel!
Eddie, use your gun!
Oh!
Use your gun!
I can't.
Why can't you? You're trying to cut my hair!
No.
Use your gun!
We can't.
Now! Okay, fine. If you're not mean enough to do it,
No! Don't shoot!
Oh!
Get down!
Get off me now! What was that?
An avalanche. This time of year, any loud noise will set one off.
Why didn't you tell me?
I tried. I said not to shoot.
I thought you were just being law-abiding.
Yeah. I'm sure someone will be along in a few days to come dig us out.
A few days. I'm not staying here 2 more seconds.
Well, how do you propose we get out there?
You'll dig.
I'll dig. No. Anyway, if we open the door, the whole place could collapse. Anyway, there's some animal skins, some nice jerky. We should be okay, provided the walls hold.
I'm not eating that crap.
You're right.
And these animal skins, forget it.
You're right. Fine ladies such as yourself shouldn't be subjected to such rough accommodations. No, it should be only the best for you. A nice roast beef dripping with succulent juices, fresh crispy greens, baked potatoes, sweet juicy fruit. Why, this stuff's barely fit for a ruffian like me. Anyway, I think I'm just gonna put it in the bag and use it for a pillow. You should rest too, right there.
Maybe, just keep warm, no food, freezing. Okay, that's it.
What is it?
Maybe you can share this stuff with me.
Why, no, I wouldn't hear you wrapping yourself in these smelly old skins. Only silk and satin for you.
Listen here, buddy. I'm not such a fine lady, and I'm starving and freezing.
But it's warm and you're not hungry.
I'm starving and it's freezing.
I say it's a beautiful, warm day, and you're not hungry.
All right, fine. That's the way you want it.
It's freezing, and you're famished.
Fine! If that's the way you want it.
It's okay. I'll take care of you now. You'll be okay.
Here. Maybe you can share this animal skin with me. It's big enough for both of us.
It's too bad Danny couldn't be here to witness this historic event.
Yeah, he worked so hard to help bring it about.
I just hope they're okay.
Don't worry, Danny knows how to survive under adverse conditions.
You don't know what adverse is until you spend a few days locked up with Catherine, okay?
Well, anyway, the digging crew should have dug them out by now.
Patrick! Where is that boy? I told him to chop some wood hours ago.
Lana! Where's she got off to now? Her chores are barely half done, and the ceremony's about to begin.
Mr. Donovan, I'm sorry to rush things, but I'm afraid we need to get the ceremony underway.
I'll call the other girls. Elsa, Claire, everyone! The ceremony's about to begin. Chair.
Chair.
Look what the digging crew found.
Is he alive?
Oh yeah, he's still alive.
He managed to get into the outhouse before the big snow hit.
This doesn't mean we have to honor those awful contracts, does it?
I told you, girls, you're free of Darian Spector and his sister.
By the time that awful man gets out of jail, I'm sure all you lovely young ladies will be married with a dozen children. I just wish I could say the same for my own.
Now, Abby.
Speaking for myself, I would be happy to marry whichever one of you girls would have me.
Oh, he looks pretty bad.
Someday you'll all regret this. I could have put Seattle on the map, but now this
simple-minded community will never amount to anything.
No, that's not true, Gary. In a couple of years, Washington will be a state, and Seattle will be one of its most prosperous cities. And I'll see that personally.
Now that's really interesting.
How do you plan to do that, Asa?
Well, Dairy Inspector is a great, self-serving man, but his idea to bring women to Seattle was a rather good one.
But there are women here now.
Oh, yes, very lovely women at that. But if we're going to grow, I'll need to go back east and get more women.
Asa.
Well, of course not after I ask you to be my wife.
Oh, Asa. I just don't know if that wedding's ever going to happen.
We've already had one.
What?
Me and Patrick were married at 10 o'clock this morning. So the tradition is broken.
My daughter! What have you done to me?
I've done nothing to you, Father, but bring you a son-in-law who wants to become a fisherman.
I've always wanted to go to Ireland, sir, and I'll work hard to make the Donovan Company prosper.
Alana, my littlest daughter. You're too young to be married, but in truth, you're a year older than I was myself. Let's all celebrate.
You people, have you no heart for tradition? How can you expect to make a good life together if you don't uphold your traditions?
Catherine! Oh dear, what's happened?
I agree with you, Seamus. Tradition should be respected, kid. In America, it's traditional for a man to carry his new bride across the threshold.
Bride? We were married this morning.
At what time?
About 9 o'clock.
And praise be the tradition wasn't broken.
But I'm not going to Ireland, Seamus. I love this country, and I want to be here when Washington becomes a state.
Oh, that's all right. I've got my other son-in-law here to run the boats. You can stay here and on the inn. Now we can start the
By
ceremony.
the second day, she was like putty in my hands.
I never actually thought it would work.
Asa, I don't mean to be rude, but I think we should start the ceremony because we're being rude to our guests.
Bridie, my dear, please allow me to conduct the ceremony when I am ready.
Asa, I was only suggesting.
Now, I don't think Danny's new wife would say something like that, would she, Danny?
Katie, go and show your sister how to properly behave toward her future husband.
Sister. You should never shout at your husband if he disagrees with you. You should just always, use force. Oh!
Maybe she's not as tame as I thought. Come on, it's back to the cabin with you. See y'all later.
I don't know what it is that makes me love you so. I only know I never want to let you go. And can't you see that ever since we met you had a hold on me? It happens to be true. I only want to be with you. It doesn't matter where you go or what you do. I want to spend each moment of the day with you. But look what has happened with just one kiss. I never knew that I could be in love like this. It's crazy, but it's true. I only want to be with you. You start to smile at me, ask if I care to dance. I fell into your open arms, and I didn't stand a chance. Now listen, honey, I just want to be with you everywhere. As long as we're together, honey, I don't care. 'Cause you started something, can't you see? That ever since we met, you had a hold on me. No matter what you do, I only want to be with you. You start to smile if I care to dance. I fell into your open arms and I didn't stand a chance. Now listen, honey, I just wanna be beside you everywhere. As long as we're together, honey, I don't care. 'Cause you started something, can't you see? That ever since we met you had a hold on me. No matter what you do,